Good afternoon, radio listeners, and those that are joining us via YouTube or Facebook. Welcome back to Voices here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for this afternoon's program, Kevon Brown. Earlier in the first hour of Voices, we had Conress Maynard. He was being interviewed by Devon Cornelius. He's the freshly nominated candidate for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party in constituency number 3. And they had a lengthy discussion this morning. But this afternoon, joining me is Jessica St. Rose from St. Lucia, and she is going to be speaking about the U.S. Embassy Women in Politics Leadership Institute, which has a program that is now open for women 18 to 35 who are in leadership roles or aspiring to be in leadership or political careers. And we're going to hear a little bit from Miss St. Rose. Good morning. Good afternoon. Sorry. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much, Win FM, for having me all the way from St. Lucia. Am I clear? Am I okay?
You are very clear. You're very okay.
Okay, thank you so much again for having me to be part of your program this afternoon. I am Jessica St. Rose from St. Lucia. I am the Media and Marketing Coordinator for ROLE, which stands for Regional Organization of Women in Leadership. And this afternoon, of course, we're invited to speak about the U.S. Embassy Women in Politics Leadership Institute program, which is in its 3rd year. And this is the 2nd year that ROLE is hosting the program on the behalf of the U.S. Embassy. Of course, the U.S. Embassy is also still sponsoring the program. So thank you so much.
You are very welcome. We are always happy to facilitate such conversations. So can you tell us a little bit for the viewing audience who might not know what the program is about? Could you tell us a little bit about what the program is?
Okay, well, if I could go back into a little bit of history about ROLE.
Go ahead.
Or I go on to the program. ROLE started off, we were a group of 5 team members. Desi Brown, of course, who is doing amazing, great work in St. Kitts. Desi Brown, myself, Deborah Francis from Dominica, Nia Brafford from Barbados, and Kadia Florius from St. Lucia. And we're all graduates of the program, which was the first cohort of the program in 2020. And the following year, the U.S. Embassy put out a call to host the program, to coordinate the entire program. And one of the benefits and one of the amazing things about this program is even after you've done the program and you've graduated, where there is still that networking aspect that continues. So persons were always sharing ideas. We created this WhatsApp group, and persons were always sharing ideas in the group and ideas about job opportunities, conferences, workshops, just anything in terms of personal and professional development. And someone shared the U.S. Embassy's call to coordinate the program. And one of my sisters, we call ourselves the Whipley sisters, one of our sisters decided, why don't we give this a try? I mean, we've done the program, we know what it is about. I think we do have the expertise we all have expertise. We all came into the program with our various expertise. So I think we should give this a try. And a few of us responded, said yes, and this is how we came about. So the group was formed, the organization was formed out of the first cohort of the Whipley program. So this is how we were formed, and then we went ahead, we submitted a proposal, and we got the contract to coordinate the program in the first year, which was a very successful first year for us coordinating the program, of course, with the support of the U.S. Embassy. And this year again, there was another call and we submitted and we were successful for the 2nd time. So whilst this is the 3rd year of the program, this is ROLE's 2nd year coordinating the program on the behalf of the U.S. Embassy.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So The program is basically a leadership institute, political women who are aspiring to be in the political arena, political careers, and maybe not necessarily going up front, not being on that platform, but who would also like to be in the back line, who is probably pushing the agenda, who is working as various campaign managers or anything political wise. The program caters to that, and also women who are interested in leadership areas, where whatever your leadership aspirations may be, the program is open to women in that area. The program has various aspects. We have aspects such as building a brand, both your personal and your professional, networking, fundraising, diversity, inclusion. And this year, more so, we added a new component to the program where we're gonna be having a mentorship aspect. We highlighted, we felt that it was necessary to, as much as yes, the networking continues, we felt that it was necessary to continue the guidance of these participants along their journeys, along their life journeys, wherever that may take them, wherever that may be, that they need the guidance and the professional help. So we're gonna pair these women, these young women, with women across the region and internationally as well to guide them along the various paths.
All right, sounds fantastic. So you mentioned some of the focuses that the program wants to, narrow or tunnel in on, such as branding and whatnot. Is there like an overarching aim of the program, as in to get, more women involved in leadership roles, or, so could you speak a little bit about what the overarching aim of the program is?
Absolutely. We believe that women needs to have that voice, that rightful place where we deserve. We believe that women need to be at the decision-making table. We believe that when women are part of the decision and the policy making, things always seem to go better. I know there are many sayings around that, and it's always been proven. And I'm not being biased here, but that's just the reality of it. And so we believe that women need to be developed and need to be trained in these areas to have more voices, to build on that platform. And this is probably the main goal of this program, to train these women in the various areas that can enhance the development, that can enhance the leadership skills, that can enhance the political aspirations to gainfully get where they want to be in life. And that is probably the overarching, the main goal of the program.
All right, fantastic. And can you speak to some of the because I know you want to focus, the focus of the program is to kind of get more women in these leadership roles or in these political arenas, whether it's backstage or actually at the platform. What are some of the challenges that persist in this field, the political arena, the leadership roles, that you feel would need a woman's touch specifically?
I think that there are a lot of challenges that across the region that women are not taken up. For example, we see where women are not enough women in parliament. I think we should have more women in parliament. We should have more voices in that area that can cater to the needs of women. For example, when we speak about areas like domestic violence, gender-based issues, these issues are not catered for, and we think that women need to be more at the forefront, need to share their voices, and need to be in parliament where these decisions need to be taken and need to be lifted up. If we, for example, we talk about quotas, and people may ask, what's your opinion? And I believe that we need to have the balance. We need to have the quotas in parliament where women can bring that sort of balance and not just the men making the decision. And this is one of the reasons why, again, we stress on the need for women to be more active. And it doesn't have to be, like I mentioned, in parliament or being an MP or being a parliamentary rep. But there are women who can go up to these levels at the parliamentary secretary levels and all of that. So there are various challenges that exist. And because of these avenues, these resources, it provides the door for women to step into and to take up that mantle and to break down these barriers. Because of course, as women, sometimes we feel that we're not good enough to be there. We're not good enough to raise our voices. And these are the barriers that we want to break down and to encourage women that yes, you can be part of this. You can be at the decision-making table. And like I always say, if you're not given a chance to be at that decision-making table, you bring your chair. And this is why this program enhances that development aspect of for you.
Well, you answered one of my questions a little bit, because one of the questions I wanted to get into was, in your experience, is there any reluctance on the part of women in the region to go after leadership roles or political careers, or are male gatekeepers still the leading cause for the lack of female presence in those areas?
Absolutely. Of course, we live in a very patriarchal society. We see that we often hear that it's a man's world and women should be seen and not heard. We grew up with these statements that girls are supposed to be seen and not heard. So we don't get the chance to raise our voices. And women, these things probably deter women from taking up that mantle and gaining the strength. So these are these little barriers. And of course, sometimes women feel that it should not be them at the forefront. And they're not bold enough, they're not brave enough, they're not strong enough. The support is not there because a lot of us in the Caribbean feel that women should not be into politics because we're not strong enough to be in politics. We're not, it's a man's world. But we need to learn to break down these barriers. And in my experience, I have experienced it where people are saying, but Jessica, politics, why are you going into that? That's crazy. That's for a man. You're not strong enough for this. But at the end of the day, you have to find it within yourself to say, yes, I want to make a change. I want to see a change. And I think that I can be part of this change that I want to see. And yeah, so basically we have these barriers to break down. And I think it's important that as women, we take up this mantle and we not think that we're less than, and we not think that we're not able to, because the voices of women matter across the board. And it's important that we step into these spaces, make space, be part of that space.
You were speaking about, women, taking the active role and trying to go after these spaces. But do you feel, or I guess, what's been the reception on the part of men in making space for women? Because you said the old adage that this is a man's world and women are just living in it. So without there being a space for women to interject in, they tend to, try and create their own spaces. But to enact real change, you kind of have to, ram your way through the old archaic way of viewing things. So is space being made, and what is the reception on the part of the people that hold the power in making that space?
I think now we see a shift. We see a movement where space is being made, and not necessarily space is being made by the men or what we used to, but I think space is being made by women now, feeling powerful enough to make that room and to make that space and to live their voices. And I think it's very important that we do that. Again, we see the gatekeepers still being there. Look at perfect example, Maya from Prime Minister Motley from Barbados. She is a trailblazer, and I always make reference to her because she really steps up to the mantle and raises her voice and does not look back. And I think that should be an inspiration for a lot of women to see how powerful she can be in a room full of men and taking up and standing tall, standing strong. So, and she has been making waves, she has been making space. So I think we can use her as a great example for us women who want to get into the political field, who want to develop our political aspirations. We see in St. Lucia, for example, we have young women, our very own Senator Lisa Joye, who is also a graduate of this program in the first cohort, doing amazing things, trailblazer for women in St. Lucia, and also a young youth person. So there are women who are making space and who are able to inspire other women who want to take up these spaces. So while we do have the gatekeepers, while we do have the patriarchal society who believes that women should not have a voice, we ourselves are not waiting for them to open these doors and to open these gates. We are pushing down these barriers and taking a space, which is very important.
All right. Thank you so much. We will pause for a quick break and then we'll be right back with a little bit more about the program with Jessica St. Rose. Stay tuned to WinFM 98.9.
It's that time of the year again. The time when Horsewood Furniture and Appliances gives away millions in cash back for free groceries with every FlexPlay purchase. Never-ending cash back for the past 25 years. SL Horsewood and Company Limited. Horsewood Furniture and Appliances Showroom. Ashley Furniture Home Store in collaboration with ValueMart IGA has given customers millions of dollars in cash back for free groceries with every hire purchase in their never-ending cash back. Yes, the Horsewood's Cashback Free Groceries annual program and promotion is the biggest and longest running of its kind in the Federation. Come today and get cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries in the never-ending cashback promotion. Yes, happening now. Get cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase. The never-ending cashback is back at Horsewood Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Home Store, where you get cashback coupons for free groceries with every FlexPay purchase. Never-ending savings, never-ending discounts, never-ending quality and service. It's the never-ending cashback. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to Voices here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host this afternoon, Kevon Brown, and I'm joined with Jessica St. Rose from St. Lucia, who is the Media and Marketing Coordinator for the Regional Organization of Women in Leadership. And she's speaking to us about a program, a leadership program being facilitated in part by the U.S. Embassy Women in Politics Leadership Institute. And we're back. Thank you again for joining us, Jessica.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so let's jump right back into the program. Can you give us a little bit of insight in what are some of the benefits that any young lady, young woman who would want to be participating in this program, what are some of the benefits that they can expect from this program?
Okay, well, first of all, this program is an amazing program. Of course, it caters to young women who are interested or wanting to develop themselves professionally, personally, and all of that. And of course, the leadership skills, community development. This program, apart from doing the program, you are met and you are brought into a network of women who can take you, who can advance you to different areas. And so after the program is done, you continue you continue being in connection with the U.S. Embassy, continue being in connection with the various facilitators and trainers and speakers that we have. So you have access to all of this. You have access to a wide array of leadership, women in various expertise and leadership all over the region and also internationally. This year, for example, we added a new component, which is the mentorship. So in the previous years, we did not have that. When the program was done, we continued our own networking among ourselves, which will also continue after this program. But this year, what is so special about this is that we are going to pair you with a mentor, women across the region and internationally as well, who are going to guide you along your journey, who are going to be there to provide the right advice that you need to develop your own leadership skills. The program will also help you build on your brand, on yourself as well. We have women who are interested in becoming leaders, community leaders, activists, advocates, leaders in various entrepreneurs, whatever area that you believe you are a leader in, but don't know how to go about building on that for themselves. So we cater for that. We cater to help you build that brand, to help you understand the when it comes to fundraising and networking, how to build on funds to enhance yourself and also your business or your various leadership areas. So we talk about diversity and inclusion. We see how the world is changing and how everyone should be included in whatever space is there. So we're going to talk about diversity, inclusion. And of course, during the program, we celebrate not International Women's Day. There's a day that we celebrate. I can't remember right now, but we do have a special day that we celebrate during the program where we bring on some amazing speakers who are going to inspire you. And these speakers are not just regionally, but internationally. And this year we do hope to have, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, but we do hope to have some amazing people that a lot of women look up to be part of this program. So there are a lot of benefits. This program takes you places. You continue to engage in opportunities that the U.S. Embassy presents, and also other areas that present where you are called upon to be on panels. You're called upon to be part of workshops, part of trainings. You could also start your own organization, your own NGO, as we rightfully did when we were part of the first cohort. So there are a number of areas that you benefit from. And of course, it's a stepping stone for you who wants to enter that political realm.
Yeah, you hit a lot of points that I've had issues with in the past, where sometimes we want to get involved in certain aspects, specifically advocacy and non-governmental organization works, non-profit organizations, charities, that sort of thing. But we just don't know where to start, where to look for, how to get, funding, because funding is a big thing for, charities and NGOs. So that you hit on a very big point for me in helping women, specifically women, get in these fields. Do you feel that women are, I guess, leading the charge in those areas? Because from my recollection, that seems to be the case. I might be wrong.
And I am an activist. I've been an activist for over probably 15 years now. I've been an activist. I'm a human rights, LGBT, focused on women's rights and LGBTQI rights, locally, regionally, and internationally. And in my experience in St. Lucia and the work that I do regionally and internationally, I have seen women taking charge of most NGOs. And I think there is even a bigger shift to that, where regionally, there are a lot of empowerment organizations, a lot of women-focused organizations who aim to bring women together and empower and inspire women. And there is always that call for how do we start, how do we get funding. And I always tell people, you start off, it's all about your passion. And when you're passionate about something, everything else will flow. Yes, funding is very important, and in the region is very difficult to get funding. But as women, we come together and we try to make things work. And then when we start off, we build on what we have. And part of the program is about we train on building support. How do we build support as women to go out there and do the work that we want to do? So building support, you start off there, and then after, when you build a support and you show what you have, then you could go out there and seek funding. Because when you go to funders, you need to show the funders what you've done. You need to influence these funders. You need to change the narrative and make them believe in your product. So building support is important, and knowing what you have, believing in what you have, believing in yourself, being very passionate, and the funding will come around. It may not be big, but it will come around. But this program caters for that. This program, there are going to be trainers and facilitators from organizations and women in these types of areas, leadership areas, who are going to teach you how to build the support and how to come around getting that funding if you want to build an NGO or you want to become an activist, and how to go about doing it.
Yes, support is really, I think, one of the biggest things, a support system, a network that you can depend on. And it's good that you had the injection of this mentorship program to help the participants of the program broaden their fields, provide them with, I guess, a difference in perspective in how to get certain things done, how to achieve the things that they want to achieve moving forward. You said that the program has been going on for 3 years now, the base program. Has there ever been a program like this previously, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, I don't think that there's been a program specific to enhancing your political and leadership skills, especially political. And I think we saw the need for the U.S. Embassy, saw the need for that with persons, a lot of young women wanting to be involved in politics and taking up that mantle. So I think there was a need for that, and this is why the U.S. Embassy specifically catered for that aspect of it, especially the political aspect of it. I know that there are other organizations who do a lot of leadership development, a lot of leadership skills development. But when it comes to the political aspect, I don't think that there was any program, to my knowledge, that is which catered for that. Internationally, I have seen it. I have seen where we have where there are programs who cater for women, and not only women, but men and women who are young, who want to become politicians and all of that, who cater for that. But in the Caribbean, I think this is a first, and it's something that is going to continue. And coming out of what really makes us happy and seems so achievable is that out of this program, we see women going forward and becoming part of parliament and becoming senators and becoming attorney generals and becoming parliamentary secretaries and parliamentary reps, and also forming their own organizations. So we see the benefits and we see the success stories coming out of these programs and being acknowledged by such as the U.S. Embassy. This is a big deal for a lot of us in the region. So I think the not just doing the program, but what the success that comes with the program and comes after it, this is what brings us really a lot of joy. And the U.S. Embassies, I have no doubt that they will continue with this program. A lot of persons, although were hoping that the age limit would have gone up, but unfortunately, it is just targeted towards the youth, which is 18 to 45. So this is where we have to stop at. And of course, like I always say, there are other programs that caters to above 35 that similar, maybe not the political aspect, but similar enough to enhance and to develop on your leadership skills.
Well, I think focusing on young persons, young individuals, especially as it relates to getting into the political arena, because we've seen time and time again that most of the political field is filled with older individuals. And I think the youth of today that grew up in today that is a bit more, what's the word that I want to use? A bit more influenced by global issues because of the access that they have just at the palm of their hands in their phones. They offer a different perspective than the veterans might have. So I think more injection of youth in policy making, not just as placeholders, but in actual conversations, in actual policy making, is necessary. So I like the fact that the program is focusing on young individuals, young women, to go out there, lead the charge, and become the leaders of the future.
I absolutely agree with you, because in St. Lucia right now we do have a youth economy coming out of the Ministry of Youth and Youth Development, which caters for all areas of youth development. And the Minister for Youth, Mr. Kenson Kazimi, is doing an amazing job when it comes to having that youth economy aspect part of his portfolio, part of his ministry, which caters, because I believe that the youth needs to be, the voice needs to be heard and needs to be inclusive in all aspects across the board. Because at the end of the day, the youth, they know what they want, they know what is needed for tomorrow, for now, and for the future. And we need to have these spaces where persons can share the ideas and to be part of consultations, to be included. And this is the way forward. And I think that right now, having the youth involved, and the future, I think this is the way to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially in, trying to deviate from a lot of the archaic ways of how things were done back in the day. You see, we struggle, a couple Caribbean islands sometimes struggle with, constitutional reform and electoral reform, in that way, not realizing that, hey, the world has shifted leagues and bounds beyond what was back then. So to have a youth perspective in how they understand the world and how the world is moving forward and put that into writing, into legal framework for a country is absolutely necessary.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely necessary.
You mentioned some of the aspects, some of the fact that there will be mentorship and whatnot. Is any mentorship going to be geared towards climate change and the environment? Because I know that there was some regional topics being brought up as it relates to gender and the environment and how the environment affects women differently, and how policies need to be changed to navigate those waters be inclusive of how the environment and climate change and all of that affects women. Is that going to be women? Is that going to be a part of the program as well?
Yes, I would say yes, because when you apply for the program, part of the application process, you would have to indicate your area of expertise, your area of community activism, your area of community development, whatever area that you've been involved in. And if you're part, we would like to pair persons with mentors who are in the field that the mentees, or more or less the participants are into. So if we have a participant who is into climate change, we will pair them with a mentor who has expertise around that area, around gender, around climate change, to help you broaden your own knowledge around that. Because we do hear a lot of talk about climate change. We do a lot of focus around climate change right now, and I think it's important to build on these conversations and to make it part of policy, part of the program as well. As much as the program is very caters to, we have specific topics. The topics does not basically stay on that particular topic. So we will open up conversation. Conversations will come around all different areas. If we're talking about local government, we have a session on local government. The facilitator may just talk about climate change and how it affects community, how it affects the environment, how it affects decision making, and all of that. So yes, we will have mentors from various expertise, various levels, who are going to be paired with the mentees, paired with the participants in whatever field that the participant is coming from.
Do you happen to know what some of the most prevalent fields that participants are interested in when they're signing up for the program?
Well, I remember last year when we hosted, when our first time hosting, we had over 100 applications. And we had to go through all these applications to choose only 26 participants. And trust me, they were brilliant. Like a lot, hands down, a lot of our ladies in the region, we are brilliant. And I will never take that away from them. It's just that we had a scoring sheet and we had to score.
That's how it goes.
In a way, not taking away anyone's credibility or integrity, nothing like that. And but a lot of the women were involved in a lot of community work, a lot of women empowerment, a lot of coming from school groups, coming from NGOs. But a lot of the work centered on community development and how they can education, how farming, agriculture. Some women construction. We had women in the construction field who were applying, and some of them spoke about being a woman in the construction field and how they were oftentimes put in the back seats because of them being a woman, that they were always sidelined. So there were different areas a lot of areas that women came from, but a lot of them were based on community. A lot of them were based on community development and women empowerment. So these are the areas a lot of the women who applied were coming from.
All right. And you said the program has been going on for 3 years, and you were in the first cohort, correct?
Right. I was in the first cohort. I was there with, well, of course, my team and I graduated from the first cohort. And again, it's something you see. I'm someone who's always about development, my own self-development and my own professional development. So I always take the chance of applying for everything that I see online, and I applied and I got through. And there were brilliant women in there. They were, and one of the participants who graduated with me is now a senator, a very close friend of mine from St. Lucia. So you are going to be part of a crop of women who are going to not only just do work with you, but inspire you on various levels. And that's the joy of being part of this program. And of course, last year we had an amazing cohort of women. And I know this year we are going to have even more amazing women being part of it.
Right. I was going to ask how, because since you've been a part of the program, you were initially a member and you graduated, and now you basically have facilitated two of the programs. So how has the program grown in your view?
I think the program has grown tremendously well. It has become, I think now, Role is become an original household name. Because even apart from doing the program, hosting and coordinating the program, the organization that I'm part of, we decided to host a mentorship program. And that mentorship program came about when we saw so many applications, over 100 applications for the embassy, the politics program, political and leadership program. We felt that some of the applicants, they were good. We saw their vision, we saw where they were going, but they just needed some guidance. So I think that's how we came about. We said, well, let's try to pair these young ladies with mentors who can aid them, who can assist them on their journey. And this is one of the things that came out of the program for us. So that in itself was a success. We were still able to take some of these women who did not get through the program, but also give them opportunity to be part of another program which assisted them. It was not necessarily a political and leadership program, but it was a mentorship leadership program where you were still given a chance to enhance your leadership skills with a mentor. And we had various, just like this one, we had various sessions to guide you. For example, your writing development, your career development, your speech, building a brand, and all of that. So for us, that was a success story for us. And regionally, the program has grown. I think this year we expect more applications because persons who did not get through or missed the deadline last year were eager to wait. They were like, when is the application coming out? When are we able to apply? So we know that a lot of women, because they're seeing it online, they saw on social media, of course, our best friend, and we were heavy on social media, pushing. So we were very visible. And because of that visibility, persons, a lot of women, and not only regionally, we had persons internationally who approached us and told us that they wanted to be part of this program because they saw the benefit, they saw the success and all that. But unfortunately, it's just catered to Barbados and the OECS. So the program has grown tremendously. The name of Role and also the WIPLI program, which is WIPLI is the acronym for Women in Politics Leadership Institute, has become a household name. So a lot more women are wanting to be involved. The only barrier, the only issue is that it's only up to 35, and we get that backlash a lot. But we have to go by the regulations of the U.S. Embassy, and it's a youth targeted program.
Right. So what's the quota for the cohort this time?
It's the same. What, the age quota?
No, the number of participants.
26.
26, and the participants have to be between 18 and 35, right. And they have to be residents of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis. All my Kittitians and Nevisians, please pay attention. St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So use the opportunity to go ahead and apply you did hit a very important thing as it relates to opportunities. You mentioned personally, because of your own drive for development, you apply for anything that you want to apply to, as much as you want to apply to see what you can gain out of that. And I think that's an important point to make for anyone who wants a change in their life, who sees themselves being this, that, or the other in a leadership role and want to figure out how to, go about it. Don't second guess yourself. Take the opportunity and apply. And as you mentioned, those persons who didn't make it in the last cohort still, or in one of the previous cohorts, still managed to gain an opportunity because the facilitators saw their potential and created a program where they can get some, some development geared towards them. So who knows what opportunities can arise out of just applying for as many things as possible.
Absolutely.
All right. So where do you see the program going in the future?
Well, it's at role at the organization. We're hoping to go global. And it would be interesting to see this program go global. But of course, it's a lot of work behind this. And so we're, apart from the program being regionally, OACS and Barbados right now, the organization itself, we're aiming to go global and provide resources and provide avenues for women to become resilient leaders all over the globe. So this is one of our aims, our objectives coming out of role. For the program itself, we would hope to see the program continue for as long as it can, as long as the embassy sees it beneficial, sees it that it's an opportunity for women to rise above the bar, that we can see it flourishing. And I would love to see also that probably we could extend the age gap, because there are women who want to get but don't have the resources or the financial to get. And this program is entirely free. I need to that this program is entirely free. So for an opportunity like that, I would expect women at all age groups to want to be part of something like that, where you can get training from expertise all over the world. So I would love to see that this program continue to develop the women, our voices, and just become very impactful, and not just do the program, but to see women rising out of this program, and being put in spaces where they can be the decision factors, that they can be at the decision-making table. For me, that's where I would love to see the program. And it's already happening. But out of this program, where we could see a female prime minister coming out of this program for one of the countries represented during the program.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. I think many Caribbean countries are ready for female prime ministers, premiers, presidents, whatever the case is. I think many of the countries in the region are ready for that, to follow in the footsteps of Barbados, who has President Sandra Mason and Prime Minister Mia Mottley, to follow in those footsteps. It is 1:15 hour, and we are going to pause for a bit of an ad break, and we'll be back with Jessica St. Just to round out the program. Stay tuned.
98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Good afternoon, radio listeners, and welcome back to Voices here on Win FM 98.9. I am your host, Kevon Brown, for this afternoon's hour. I am joined with Jessica St. Ruse from St. Lucia. She is the media and marketing coordinator for the Regional Organization of Women in Leadership, and they are the coordinators for the U.S. Embassy Women in Politics Leadership Institute program this year, who are seeking to invite young women 18 to 35 who are interested in pursuing leadership roles, political roles in the region, specifically Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, and the ECCU bloc. We've spoken a lot about, what to expect from the program, a bit of history about the program. So how about we delve into, how do these women apply for this program? What is needed? What is necessary? What steps, what loops do they have to jump through to be a part of this program?
Okay, first of all, it's not a very difficult application. I say this because I'm as women in leadership and aspiring politicians like myself, and community activists and all of that, women in different leadership areas who constantly aspire and enhance their professional and personal development. We go through applications, and sometimes we have like 10 pages of to write up and everything. But this application is very straightforward. You tell us about yourself. You put a 1-minute video of why you believe that you should be part of this program. You provide your CV. You tell us what you've been involved in, your community activism, what area of expertise you would love to enhance. Or if you do become one day you aspire to politician, you do become a politician, what area would be your main focus? So you write up about this, the video, 1-minute video, tell us about yourself, what area of development you would like to enhance as your own portfolio, 300 words, I believe it is, and you submit your CV and you submit your application. So it's a very straightforward, simple application. The application can be found. We're available on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. At Instagram, Roll Global, ROWL Global. Facebook, you search, we have a page and a group, you search Regional Organization of Women in Leadership. LinkedIn, the same, Regional Organization of Women in Leadership. And the application form is available right there. It's a Google form. You go in there and you submit everything, and you just click submit, and we will receive it. For you to be part of it, like I mentioned, you should be and have been involved or is involved in community work, leadership areas, the different leadership areas that you carry, and that's about it. And your aspirations, what you hope to achieve in life as a leader, and you submit your application. And of course, must be within 18 to 35, a resident, and also living a resident and also citizen of Barbados or one of the OCS islands. So it's very simple, and of course, like I mentioned earlier on, it's absolutely free.
Fantastic. We love the free word. So the program is going to be in person or virtually?
The program is virtually. We were not able to have this program in person as yet. You asked earlier on, this is something I had to mention. Where do we see the program going? Yeah. Having the program been done in person, because I think the pandemic has all brought us via Zoom, and some of us are zoomed out.
Very true.
But we are not able to have the program in person as yet, and this is something that we hope to have in the future, where we could have the participants. And even on Zoom, the energy is so vibrant, is so engaging. The speakers, the facilitators, the participants themselves bring so much great energy, positive energy to the program, that it doesn't even feel like, oh my God, I don't want to be on this Zoom call today. It feels great because you gain so much knowledge and there's so much to take in. And when you see like, oh my God, this person is a speaker, I actually had this person facilitate me. Oh my God, I feel so privileged to be part of this. So there's a lot of excitement in the program. So being on Zoom does not take away from you having fun and wanting to learn and wanting to keep your eyes and ears alert during the program, and of course you're not going to feel tired or anything of that, because the program itself is very exciting, very engaging. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so it's on Zoom. Yes, it's on Zoom. It's not in person. It runs for 6 weeks. It starts on August 17th to September 26th. And this is after September. The mentorship program starts the first week in October. And then you will be paired with a mentor to guide you. And we will be having sessions as well with your mentors and to see your progress and to see what you've been doing with your mentor. And you graduate, and when you graduate, you get a certificate, you get your goodie bag, shipped to your doorstep, to your post box, wherever you collect your mail, you get your certificate and you get your goodie bag. And we have a very nice graduation on Zoom where you get to speak and you get to wear your nice dress, and it feels like a real graduation. And we have some brilliant speakers who come. The ambassador for the OACS, the US ambassador for the OACS and Barbados, she is also there in the opening ceremony and also the closing ceremony, giving her remarks. So it's a very prestigious program where you feel excited, you feel embraced, you feel that you gained, your knowledge has been enhanced. So yes, so I'm encouraging all women to take this opportunity and apply.
All right. You spoke about how you have fantastic speakers that are going to be. You don't have to name a name, but could you, just as a little enticing, could you give a little clue, just a small clue as to who one of the speakers?
We're hoping this year to have a speaker that everyone I think admires in the region. So we're hoping to have her on board this year. Hopefully it comes through. We have already been in contact, and let's just say that everyone is going to be in the room in awe, like listening to this person. So that should probably give a hint.
I think it probably did, and I think that'll work well to get people who are interested. But apart from that, what would be your message to anyone who is on the fence about possibly applying to this? What would be one or two things that you would say to them to get them off of the fence and get them to that application?
Okay. First of all, don't deny yourself of any opportunity that presents itself. Don't think that you are not enough. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do this and you can be part of it. Don't ever think that you're small, you don't belong in these spaces. You do belong in these spaces, and see it as an opportunity for your own self-growth, your own self-development, something that you're doing for yourself, which later on is going to impact the lives of many persons who are looking up to you, who are coming after you. So don't deny yourself. Take the opportunity. It is free. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. It's an opportunity that you don't always get, that don't always come. It comes once a year, and who knows, this may be the last time that the U.S. Embassy decides that we're not going to do this program again. So the opportunity now presents itself. Take the opportunity and do your best and apply. I'm encouraging all women. I see the benefits. I live the benefits. I've seen the benefits, the success stories coming out from all the participants who have been involved in the program. So there is a lot to gain from the program. So don't set yourself back. Don't set yourself behind. It is not, some persons or women may feel that this is all about politics. No, it is not. It is an opportunity to enhance your own leadership skills, because there are women in the program who has no political aspirations. Yes, they know about politics. Yes, they listen, they speak about it, but they don't want to become politicians. But because of the various leadership skills that they possess and they want to enhance, they join the program and they become part of the program. So it's an opportunity for you as well to develop on these areas for your own self. So I want to stress on that again. While the program is a politics and leadership institute program, you don't have to be someone who wants to become a politician. You're a leader in whatever various field that you're in, and you want to enhance on your leadership skills. You want to develop yourself personally and professionally. This program is for you.
Fantastic. And before we end the program, because we have just about 4 minutes left, can you run through the application process and where people can apply once again for anyone that missed it the first time?
Okay, so the application, we are available on social media platforms. On Instagram, Roll Global, one word, ROWL Global. This is our name on Instagram. Or you could just search for Regional Organization of Women in Leadership. You could go to the U.S. Embassy Bridgetown page as well, the postings and the form to apply. The link is there as well from the U.S. Embassy's page. You could go on Facebook, Regional Organization of Women in Leadership, search for us. The application form is right there. LinkedIn, the application form is right there. Or you could send us an email at rollcaribbean@gmail.com. One word, ROWcaribbean@gmail.com.
All right, fantastic. And again, the program is open to women who are 18 to 35 and residents of Barbados and OECS countries who are interested in leadership, leadership opportunities, developing your leadership skills, and possibly if you're interested in, becoming a prime minister of your country or a politician in your country, and you wonder, how do I best exert the most prevalent leadership skills to get me to that position? Or maybe it has to do with an NGO, advocacy work, charity work, that kind of thing. So it's an opportunity for young women in the region to develop themselves the best they can if they're interested in such a role, leadership role, politics. Jessica, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon here on WinFM 98.9 to speak about the program. Can you give me a parting word for the listening audience before we end?
Oh, thank you so much. I am really happy that I was able to come on here to discuss the program. I must thank my project coordinator, Ms. Desi Brown, who is actually in the U.S. doing a program with the U.S. Embassy. Again, an opportunity which came out of the program. So this opportunity as well for women who are thinking opportunities exist doing this program, amazing opportunity. So thank you to Desi for all the tremendous work that she's doing in St. Kitts and putting all of this together. And I'm, of course, encouraging women throughout, wherever you're listening, if you're online, you're in St. Kitts, you're in whatever OCS island, country, Barbados, I encourage you to apply. Don't sell yourself short. You deserve a rightful place. You deserve to raise your voice. You deserve a seat at the table, and it's an opportunity for you to enhance on these skills. And we're open to, if you're not able to apply, we're open to discussing other opportunities with you where we can assist you, enhance, and grow on your own professional and personal development. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You are very welcome, and you are always welcome to come back and speak about any other opportunities that arise for women who are seeking roles in leadership or any other discussion that you are interested in coming on. We welcome all from around the region to converse with us about issues and policies that affect the people of our region. So thank you again so much, Jessica, for joining me this afternoon. And thank you to the radio listeners for joining me, Kevon Brown, this afternoon. I was your host for Voices here on WinFM 98.9 on this lovely Wednesday, July 27th. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned.